Welcome to the June 2nd Board of Public Affairs meeting. Welcome to everyone and good evening. First on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the May 19th board meeting. Welcome to everyone, and you've all been presented with that. First on the agenda. See any additions, corrections?
Nope, I've got it right here. I'd like to make a motion. We approve the minutes from the May 19th meeting.
This is Annette. I second it.
Karen,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
Vic,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is a hearing of public concerns. I believe we have a call-in number. We'll just take a short hesitation here and then we'll proceed with the meeting. And then if someone calls in, we can stop and take the call. Okay, I think we'll just move on, and that way if we get a call, we'll just stop what we're doing and address the call. Next on the agenda is a resolution. Laura, could you please number and read?
Resolution number 23, 2020, authorizing the operations manager to execute an agreement with Turbine Technology Services Corporation for the Westinghouse control system upgrade project.
And Dawn, would you like to start off with that?
I sure will, as soon as I get unmuted. Sorry about that. In 2019, the board approved the engineering for this project with the firm Mesa and Associates. Jim and Nate worked real closely to develop the project specifications, and then in February, the board authorized BMU to advertise for bids. There was a slight delay due to COVID-19, but ultimately the bids were opened on May 1st. And Mesa and Associates and the BMU team evaluated the bids, and TTS was the most responsive low bidder. The completed bid includes a new simplex TTS turbine management system and much more. And I have Jim and Nate on the call to share their thoughts and recommendations with this project. So Jim, I don't know if you want to go first.
Sure, I'll go first. That's okay. TTS rose to the top very quickly when we started evaluating all the bids. Three of them, even though we had put very specifics in the bid about how much we wanted to get rid of the air because the pneumatics was what's causing us all the issues, 3 out of the 4 wanted to put the original gas valves back in and then put an electronic controller that still just operated air. So we weren't gaining the advantage of not having to worry about pneumatics and those kind of things becoming outdated, where TTS put it right in their bid and got complete electronic controls for everything that you could possibly do. Also, they also added in the automatic flow divider for the liquid fluid, the diesel, which allows the pressure at each nozzle or at each burner per se to be equal instead of going into a manifold and then hopefully at the top you got the same pressure as you got at the bottom. Some of the other ones also wanted me to put 2 to 4 men with them for the entire week. So we were doing half the labor for what they were bidding for, where TTS will bring in their own team and take care of it all, and then they can do the identical thing on both of them with the same team. So when we looked at all those things and added those options back in that the other ones had left out, because each bidder, even though they wanted to use the original air pneumatic gas valves and liquid fuel valves, they still put in the option for putting in the electronic part. And once we added that back in, TTS not only had been more responsive by actually bidding on what we asked from a technical standpoint, but they were actually the low bidder. And their team has people with 32, 33 years experience of being there. They've done things worldwide. Secondly, even some of their senior project managers had been project managers before, had left, and then TTS even brought them back. So they have managed to retain a lot of experience over the years and bring us quite a package, and we're happy to offer it for your consideration. Nate?
Well, I think you covered most of it, Jim. It sounded pretty good. I'd just add that basically we had 4 bidders, and I called and got excellent references for TTS. Everybody was very happy with them. And I'd just like to let you know that it wasn't a typical bid, to be honest with you. It wasn't just your cookie cutter bid that we usually deal with. And I'd like to thank our city attorney for working with us and getting us through this thing. And it was a great team effort by all.
Wasn't sure if Nate is done or not.
I think he is.
Oh, okay. Well, I know last week we had a meeting, Rhonda, Dawn, and I, and Nate, and she had some genuine concerns about the contract and some of the specifics of it, the general conditions, I should say. And then I believe them and Jim went back into negotiations with them, and Rhonda, you must have beat up on them pretty good because you did a fantastic job of
I think Nate thinks I beat him up.
So with that, I appreciate that, all that hard work that you all done to get that contract.
Yeah, I think it came out positive for us.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that I think Nate probably can add to this, that I think I feel a little bit more at ease in dealing with the company. I think they're going to be a fine company to work with.
Yes. Yes. And of course, I'm sure most of you know, some of you, Annette, you may not know, but how important those turbines are to us for peak shaving. And I, for one, used to work on them, and the air systems were terrible. I mean, they were just eating up valves, and I was rebuilding them and replacing them. And we talked years ago about having the control upgrades. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Dawn, but and Jim, when we finish 2, then we go to 1. Of course, we're going to save a bundle of money by letting them do 1 also. I think the payback on that is probably 18 to 24 months, maybe. Is that a fair statement?
I think the last time we calculated it was about 150,000 a megawatt hour. So it will pay itself back rather quickly.
Yes. And I'm all for quick paybacks. That's so it's
And
something.
and it should be more reliable and easier
Right.
to use.
And that's the issue. It's the reliability. Anyone have any other comments or questions or?
I just like to say I was glad to hear from Jim and Nate tonight, because after reading the recommendation letter from Mesa, I guess I came away with the impression that the cost savings with TTS was the biggest draw for them. But after hearing from Nate and Jim, it sounds like there was other significant differences. So it sounds like we did okay. Sounds like we made the right move.
Thanks, Jim. We did, Nate and I did take quite a bit of time reading through all those to make sure that I had what I needed and he had what he needed from a term standpoint. So we wanted to make sure we were actually getting something for the utility that was really what we needed.
That sounds like you did. It sounds like you did what you set out to do. We appreciate it.
And I have a question. Do we have a timeline on this then? When can they start? When will the completion date be?
Jim can probably answer that, but I'm assuming,
Substantial completion is December 15th.
correct.
Yeah, between October 1st and December 15th, but the design and some of the wheels will start turning now. But the generator will not actually be taken offline until after October 1st.
Correct.
Unless,
Yeah, that's
We just,
that's kind of, go ahead.
Jim, go ahead, please.
Oh, that's one of the requirements is that we have to wait till October the 1st in order to make it through September for peak shaving before we're allowed to take it offline. Otherwise, we could get dinged for that. But that's the idea is these gas valves have a 16-week lead time. So in order to get that ball rolling with the engineering process and everything, we got to do it right now. So in order to hit October 1st, today is really important.
And then also, when we do one, the window will be springtime, correct?
Unless they can get it done this fall, with all the lead time and everything, if they can get it done this fall, then they said 6 weeks and then 4 weeks. So it's a possibility. Once we get them a PO to see how fast they can.
Looks like it was a good month. POs for everything. I'll make a motion. We pay the bills.
I'll second. This is Jim.
Karen,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Annette,
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
Okay. Next on the agenda will be comments from BPA and staff. Let's see, where are we going to start? We'll start with Annette, please.
Oh, you had to choose me first.
Ladies first.
Right now, I don't really think I have any comments or anything at this time.
Okay. Darren?
Yeah, let's see. If Jim's still on the phone, I wondered how the water and the flash boards have been working for you over the last month with all the rain, since our last meeting anyway.
Well, since the last meeting, I haven't had boards much. We actually just stuck them on yesterday. It was a perfect morning, and so I texted everybody on Sunday night and said, hey, we're doing boards tomorrow. So we got out there in the nice cool weather and we got the boards on. And so all the generation has slowed up. We're right around the 7 megawatts as far as generation down there. So we've been doing very well. Debris has been very minimal. And I hope to get the buoys on Thursday morning when the wind dies back down, because this 10, 15 mile an hour wind's pretty wild out there trying to hold on to buoys. But yeah, the boards are back on and the water's coming up.
All right. And then, Dawn, I have a question for you about the APPA National Conference and if that's going to proceed or if that's been canceled or postponed.
They canceled the in-person rally and they are doing a virtual, I think they're calling it Virtual Business Connect, for a couple of days and still having the annual business meeting just in a virtual format.
Great. Thank you. I think that's all I have. Thanks, Dick.
Okay, thank you. Jim?
I feel the need to clarify a statement that I made at the last meeting. When we discussed our situation with the director, of course, it was covered in the paper the next day, and the first thing I thought of is I was misquoted, but then after reviewing what I actually said, I found out that I was quoted accurately. So I would like to clarify that a little bit. I would like to make sure that there's nobody out there that actually feels, I'm speaking for myself here, of course, that I'm comfortable with the situation we have right now with the lack of a director. And I guess the point I was trying to make at the last meeting was that the situations that we've dealt with over the last months, what with losing the director, all of the board, the virus, everything, it's kind of in the works. But there again, I'm speaking for myself. As much as we can, with the way that we have to operate now, I would personally like to see the process start, so we could at least when the limitations are lifted, we'll be in a position where we can proceed.
Excuse me.
That's all I have to say.
Okay. Mr. Sprow?
Yes, I agree with Jim on the director issue, that as soon as we can, that maybe we should start looking for a new director. I think we've been long enough, and it's maybe beneficial that we start the process. So I agree with Jim on that. The other question I had was, what's the project for the substation? How was that going on since the last time that we had an update on that?
Okay, well, last week they had all the stone in for the power control center and the transformer for the bases. Then late last week, they poured some Leancrete over that to kind of seal it up. And this morning I was out there and they're getting all the foundation formed so that the rebar and all the anchor bolts stuck in, so they can start pouring the solid foundations for both those. They also got a boring machine out there so they can start boring for the pillars of concrete that got to go in for all the structure material. Moving along still pretty well. And Al's doing a great job of also getting all the poles up. He's got them all the way from Wilson Street down just a little bit past where the substation is. So he's moving along also.
Thank you, Jim. That's all I have.
Okay, Mayor,
No, sir, thank you.
Rhonda,
No, sir, thank you.
Miss Rhodey,
No, sir, thank you.
Jim Caressel.
No, I just want to thank you guys for approving the project and for Nate and Dawn and Rhonda. Without the great team effort, things just don't happen. And I just can't say how much I appreciate and enjoy being a part of this team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim. And with that, I'd just like to say again, Rhonda, Nate, Jim, Dawn, thanks for all your work. I'm glad we finally got to an end point on this contract. And we couldn't have done it without the you four, the teamwork. So I really appreciate it. I know the board does. And with that, Dawn, do you have any other comments or?
Yes, I have two things. I just wanted to tell Jim, Nate, and Rhonda how grateful I am. The GT1 and GT2 turbines are essential to our generating fleet, and it provides a value of $4 to $4.5 million, which means we are heading into peak demand season. And there is a chance that BMU may ask for customer assistance with managing peaks. This typically happens between the hours of 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. And we will send out a notice when we need help, or customers can watch social media or the website for more information. So it's hard to believe that it's June 2nd already. And Dick, I think Jackie,
Oh, I forgot.
Jackie has something to say.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's okay.
Jackie, are you there?
That's all right, Dick. Yes, thank you, Dick. With Jim's comments made about moving forward with the director, can I ask for permission then to start advertising for the director's position? We have reviewed the job description with the HR committee, and it is updated. Wondered if we could start posting that now then and advertising externally at the same time.
Well,
Do we need that in the form of a motion?
Yes, I just need permission to do it.
okay.
I'll make a motion, we proceed.
This is Tom, I'll second.
Jim,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Annette.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I had.
So I'm going to be out of a job, huh?
Dick,
Yes, ma'am.
I think Nate has an update for William Street as well, and then I think that we're done. That we've got people on the line that you can't see, so I just thought I would let you know that Nate's on as well with an update.
Okay. Nate, are you there?
Yeah, I just wanted to give everybody an update on William Street. It's progressing very well. They started at Perry Street and they were working their way north. They're all the way up to Wilson Street. Then they even turned west and got Pierce Street. Today they were out there and did that big bore under the storm sewer, and they did the 2 live taps. So everything's progressing very well, no big problems. And I just want to thank everybody and bear with us while we get through this, but it's actually going fairly smooth for a little part of town. I just wanted to give everyone an update on that.
Okay. Thank you, Nate. I did forget someone. I wanted to thank Eric Kerman and his crew for technically helping us all out with this virtual stuff. So thanks, Eric. Yeah, with that, I just hope everybody stays safe and keep doing what we're doing. It seems to be working for everybody. So any other comments or I may have missed? If not, and before I forget, of course, could the board members please drive by? We'll do a drive-by signature again.
Can do that.
Okay, and with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
This is Jim, so moved.
I'll second. Dick?
Jim,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Annette.
Yes.
Okay, thank you all. Have a good evening.